Hi, Miss Leslie Berry. It's Diane. I decided to do my final project on motivation, and the way that I did it was through a magazine. So I made a magazine with one main article, two sub-articles, two quizzes, and two ads. And this is the cover page. Psych It Up is what I named my magazine. And this is a table of contents. And I also included a letter from the editor at the very beginning since I saw it was very common in a lot of magazines that I saw. So I decided to do like a mini letter from the editor, which would be me. So this is me, and this is what I wrote. When I was thinking of a topic to write about for my final project, I thought of motivation. I have been lacking it a lot these past few days. One thing that has brought it back up was doing homework assignments little by little. I also reminded myself of my parents and their past, as well as my own past. Writing this magazine brought me back to my newspaper days back at Duchenne. Even though the pioneer blast is no longer alive, I learned a lot about article writing. This was a very fun project to do, and I hope you enjoyed my project. So I guess this was meant for after you saw it and you'd come back to it, but it's fine. And this is my main article. Can you become motivated during quarantine? During these times of quarantine, many youngsters have lost a great deal of motivation. When they used to turn in their homework in a timely manner, they are now procrastinating more than ever. Many of them claim that they aren't as motivated to do schoolwork because they are no longer attending classes regularly. Tempicha, which is one of my friends that I interviewed, is one of those many students. When asked how her motivation has been affected by the quarantine, she said, "These days, being at home has affected me. I feel like I have less motivation to do schoolwork or even go to class online. I've been procrastinating a lot." With such a low drive to motivation, it's important to understand what it is. According to Kendra Cherry's article, "What is Motivation?" it stated that motivation is the process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors. Motivation is what drives humans to do what they want to do. There are many different categories of motivation. There is also numerous theories that tackle how humans act in specific situations. Of those, psychologists have figured out two types of motivations, eccentric and eccentric. In Sherry's article, she explains that eccentric motivation arises from outside of the individual and often involves rewards such as trophies, money, social recognition, or praise. An example of this would most often be seen in sports. Students practice long and hard to get that trophy or beat their opponents. When it comes to eccentric motivation, it arises from within the individual, such as doing complicated word puzzles purely for the personal gratification of solving a problem. When taking this information into account, a common example of this would be working out. When someone decides to work out, they're doing it for themselves and not for others most of the time. So most of the time, they're doing it for themselves because they want to lose weight or something like that, or they either want to gain weight, depending on their situation. But there are times whenever they do it for their significant other, or they do it for some other reason, such as doctors. But most of the time, they usually do it for themselves. Eccentric and eccentric motivation shows the two main types of motivation that explain where the drive comes from. Turning the attention back to the quarantine, there seems to be no eccentric or eccentric motivation to do homework assignments or to do well in class. Students should set goals to do their homework and try their best to stick to them. Another tip given by Sherry's article stated that if something was too big or overwhelming to do, to break it up and focus on the first step towards the goals, or in the first step to the goal. If anything, students should feel excited for the end of the semester, but not stray away from their responsibilities and focus on doing their best that they can. So this is one of my ads, and it's need a motivation boost, watch Haiku. An anime all about the character's journey to become motivated. Their fun personalities and journey to the top will surely lift your spirits. And this is my first sub-article. Feature psychologist Carol Dweck. While on the subject of motivation, psychologist Carol Dweck has done extensive research on the matter. She wanted to answer the questions as to what motivates people to become triumphant. Many are under the mindset that because they aren't smart enough or talented enough, they cannot compete with those that have those qualities. Carol disagrees with those thoughts. In Rahim Al-Tahir's article, Carol Dweck, the woman behind the motivational mindset, it stated, working hard is certainly a prerequisite to success, but only to a point. If you have a negative belief about yourself, like the idea you are not smart enough, no amount of hard work is going to bring you success. As much as people would like to believe that hard work is key, the most important factor is faith in oneself. Dweck is a famous and hardworking psychologist who did extensive research over the last 30 years on the cause and effect of how one's thoughts catapult them into success or inadequacy. According to Dweck, she focused on how people perceive themselves in certain situations. Her main point in her theory was, if as smart as a person was, if they had no confidence that they can complete a task, they most likely wouldn't encounter success. In the student's world, those who have faith that they will do well on the test and work hard for it will have more success than students who don't have faith but work hard. Dweck famously said, success is 90% attitude and 10% hard work. Her research has greatly improved people's understandings of motivation. It is also very true what she has theorized. Today, many successful people seen on TV do not only work hard, but also have a persistent attitude towards their work. One person that comes to mind is Jorge Ramos. Besides all the criticism he receives from people, he continues to work to report on the news. He knows that he is getting the news out there and that his hard work is getting through to people. So because he knows he's successful and he has a positive attitude towards it, he always reports that, and his hard work is also in there. He is what Dweck would consider success. That's why he's a successful person. Dweck's theory on motivation can be seen very clearly and gives a solid foundation as to what motivation is in humans. So then this is my second sub-article. Let's hop off a building. As you read this title, some might be thinking that's a crazy idea. Why would anyone want to do that? Others would agree in a heartbeat. Those who would jump off a building without a thought are considered sensation seekers. Sensation seekers are attracted to the tendency to pursue new and different sensations, feelings, and experience. People who are considered sensation seekers are not motivated by the danger of the activity, but rather the thrill of it. People who are interested in these types of activities often make people wonder if they have common sense. There are various activities that sensation seekers can do, such as bungee jumping or skydiving. Most people do not partake in these activities because of the risk of death that comes with them. When it comes to sensation seekers, though, they're driven to conquer new challenges and soak up every experience life has to offer, and they simply do not let danger dissuade them. This is a dangerous way of thinking to some people, but for those seeking any sort of thrill, it is a dream come true. To those who would jump off a building, you are considered sensation seekers, and your motivation comes from experiencing everything Earth has got to offer. And then this is one of my quizzes. What type of need? According to McKellen's theory of needs, there are three needs that humans have. They have a need for affiliation, achievement, or power. The need for affiliation is the need for a social life. The need for achievement refers to having a strong desire to complete difficult goals. The need for power is the need to gain control of others and have having a high status. From this information, guess what these people's needs are? So I chose 5 different people: Kim Jong-un, the plastics, Naruto, BTS, and scientist. And you can guess. Ooh, it looks shorter. Okay. And then this is my second ad. Want to have a furry friend wake you up every morning? Would 100% motivate you to get out of bed. So it's a short ad. It's not like big ad, but I wanted to make a little and this is my dog. And this is a friend of mine's dog. I also care about a lot. And this is my last quiz. So eccentric or eccentric. So I talked about it a little bit in the a lot in the main article. So I thought that they could apply this. They could apply those. they could apply those on here. So playing Animal Crossing, writing a scholarship essay, getting good grades to please parents, playing a sport for fun, watching an anime series, getting good grades for oneself, finding a cure for cancer, and playing a sport to win a medal or trophy. Then these are the answers. Ready. And that's the end of my magazine. And here are my references.